The public should pay careful attention to complaints to the CBC Ombudsman about Rosemary Barton's misleading April 16 statement, and renewed scrutiny of the CBC's 2021 reporting on the Kamloops residential school. At stake is the credibility of Canada's public broadcaster and the integrity of our national discourse on a subject as painful as residential schools. During a live panel discussion following the French-language federal leaders debate on April 16, Barton claimed, "Yes, there have been remains of Indigenous children found in various places across the country." Her statement, made in response to a question about anti-Christian sentiment linked to the residential school narrative, has since been widely criticized as inaccurate and emblematic of the CBC's failure to properly verify critical information. In May 2021, reports of the discovery of 215 children's remains at the Kamloops residential school site sparked national mourning and international headlines. Governments ordered flags lowered to half-mast for months. The Trudeau government created a new statutory holiday for truth and reconciliation, and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, which 6 provinces had rejected, was passed unopposed in June 2021. The passage of UNDRIP alone will change Canada in ways not yet foreseen. Thus, the story reshaped Canadian public life almost overnight, becoming a defining moment in the national reckoning with the legacy of residential schools. The Frontier Centre for Public Policy has long advocated for rigorous standards in public communication and the media's duty to ensure that truth prevails over sensationalism. The CBC's role in amplifying the unverified Kamloops claim, and its ongoing failure to properly correct the record, raises serious concerns about journalistic integrity and the unchecked spread of misinformation, particularly when it shapes national memory, reconciliation efforts, and policy making. On May 27, 2021, the Tk'emlúps te Secwépemc First Nation issued a press release claiming the confirmation of the remains of 215 children at the former Kamloops residential school site, based on ground-penetrating radar. The CBC, like many outlets, reported this claim as fact. Its headline that day read, "Remains of 215 children found buried at former BC residential school," First Nation says. Yet no physical remains have been recovered, and the original claim has since been widely questioned. In the face of mounting public concern, the CBC's recent correction regarding Barton's statement attempts to sidestep accountability. Rather than acknowledging its pivotal role in creating the narrative, the broadcaster now claims it consistently referred to potential burial sites or unmarked graves. This claim is demonstrably false, as archived headlines and reports show. The failure by the CBC to directly confront its reporting errors amounts to institutional gaslighting, further eroding public trust. Compounding these concerns is emerging evidence that suggests the CBC may have had advance notice of the Kamloops announcement. According to The Knowing by Tanya Talaga, select journalists were given embargoed details to ensure sensitive and impactful coverage. CBC journalist Angela Sterrett admitted she was in contact with the Tk'emlúps te Secwépemc the day before the announcement, and was one of only a few journalists granted access to the June 4, 2021 video conference, where live streaming was prohibited. This raises serious questions about whether the CBC acted as a passive reporter or an active participant in promoting an unverified claim. These facts warrant immediate investigation. Canadians deserve to know whether their publicly funded broadcaster was complicit in promoting a narrative it failed to scrutinize, and whether this reflects a broader failure of editorial oversight. This controversy also vindicates the few institutions, including the Frontier Centre for Public Policy, that called for caution and demanded evidence when the Kamloops claim first surfaced. For this, we were often maligned, including by Winnipeg MP Leah Gazan in the House of Commons. Yet the emerging facts confirm that skepticism rooted in evidence is not denialism, it is a democratic imperative. As Canada continues to wrestle with the legacy of its residential school system, we must do so with compassion, evidence, and a commitment to truth. Upholding rigorous journalistic standards is not merely a professional obligation. It is essential to preserving public trust and democratic accountability. The CBC must fully correct its earlier reporting, disclose whether it had prior knowledge of the 2021 Kamloops media release, and recommit itself to journalism's foundational duty: to tell the truth even when it is uncomfortable.